this working? You have to bear with me because this is not necessarily a black thing. It's a human thing. And I want to say some words to the humans out there. First of all, you better thank somebody because you're above ground. You ain't got to thank who I think, but thank somebody. We on this side of the dirt. I know that freedom ain't free. Every generation, we have to fight to hold on to that freedom. There's a saying that you free, just pick the cotton. Well, we ain't picking no more cotton. If we picking cotton, we gonna get paid for picking the cotton. We gonna get paid for distributing the cotton, producing the cotton, investing in generational wealth. I want to thank the Broadway League. I want to thank all the white folks, all the good white folks. I want to thank all the good black and brown folks. I want to thank my friends of the deaf and hard of hearing community. All of my work has only been about we are one human, bleeding the same blood. Let's get rid of this stupid shit between us that keeps us from each other. When I think of a Legacy Award, I don't take it lightly. And I still got a lot more work to do. But when I think about it, I think of personally those shoulders that I soar on. And so bear with me just a little bit. Adrienne Kennedy, I had a small part in bringing her show to Broadway this year. She's 91 years old. A 91-year-old African-American woman, but what I think about, what I get from her is that for 50 years, it took her 50 years to get her story to the Great White Way. So, endurance. Endurance. Stay strong. Stay vigilant. Adrienne Kennedy, thank you. Also, I work with the great August Wilson. I spent the last 5 weeks of his life, I was with him working on his last play, Radio Golf. I was sitting on the porch with his wife, Constanza Romero, and dramaturg Todd Kreitler, and I remember him saying, Kenny, you are so gifted. You're so gifted. America must reward you in the same way they would reward someone who is not black. So identify a person that's not black that you think has the same gift that you do, and then demand that superficially you get what they give him. So at least every show a Broadway producer talks to me about, I fly first class. Not because I don't have to fly, I can fly coach, but to honor August Wilson, I demand first class. When I get to the destination, I want a king-size bed. I deserve a king-size bed. So, respect, honor, demand that. August Wilson also said, where were they when the page was blank? Where were they when the page was blank? So it starts with a blank page. Other people, I've been lucky to breathe the same air. Ruby Dee and Ossie Davis. Ossie Davis, people don't know, when I did the first A Raisin in the Sun, starring Sean Combs. When I did that production, it had been 45 years since the original Raisin in the Sun. And it took 45 years to bring it to Broadway because the estate demanded that it be led by an African American. So we've come a long way. We've come a long way. And I thank the league for being a part of that. So now, 62 years later, during that time, Ossie Davis was getting ready to go on for A Raisin in the Sun behind the great Sidney Poitier. He was writing a play called Pearly Victorious. He couldn't stand the pain, so he couldn't write a drama, so he wrote a comedy about America. And 62 years later, I get, along with Leslie Odom Jr., I get to bring that story to Broadway in September. Also in the same room, Ruby Dee and Asha Davis, they gave me notes for Raisin in the Sun. They said, hey, Sanaa needs to say this, Felicia needs to say that, Audra needs to say that, and I love them. So what they taught me is, we are all connected. My Raisin in the Sun is connected to the original Raisin in the Sun, which is connected to the sharecroppers before them, which was connected to the enslaved before them, which was connected to the Africans before them. It's all connected. Other people I've been in the room with, I was in a room with Sidney Poitier on one side and Denzel Washington on the other. And I remember people gave me, excuse me, little ones, gave me shit about, well, you know, I think Denzel is a little too old to play that role. And I went to Mr. Poitier, and we stood in his living room, and I say, Sidney, we want to do this play. Who do you think is worthy of doing it? He said, there's only one man that can do it. He's standing right next to you. And I said, what about the critics? What about the critics saying that he's too old? Because we're doing it because we think the dreams is a desperate dream. You have one shot at the dream. When Lorraine wrote it, the character was sort of 30 years old, but now it needs to be older because we get one dream. And Mr. Poitier said to me, I said, what do I say to those critics? He says, fuck them. And then, only a few short weeks ago, I had the pleasure of being in the living room with the great, wonderful Harry Belafonte. And like my mom said, you ain't lucky, Kenny, you're blessed. I was blessed to be in the room with, oh, they playing the music. Y'all want me to go? Is that ready to go, or do I keep going? But Belafonte, he said, Kenny, America has lost its barometer. African Americans have lost their barometer too. Don't spend the time trying to find the barometer. Spend the time holding a mirror up to humanity. Hold that mirror up. Tell the truth. Tell the truth when you're on the stage. Tell the truth with your plays. And then Toni Morrison said to me, Kenny, when I did her first opera, she said, oh, Kenny, ain't nothing boring about black people. Our funerals ain't boring. Even when we were enslaved, it wasn't boring. We lived our lives. Ain't nothing boring about black folks. I celebrate Juneteenth, the life and lives and the stories that we tell in a pursuit of a more perfect, beautiful union. I accept this award, and I will use it as fuel to bring all of us closer together. Thank you. Happy Juneteenth.